Hi, this is Musin, and I compiled my very first series into a movie just like how I originally envisioned its structure for the first time. For context, this series that I compiled in this video was the first 4 videos that I made, and at the time, and actually still now, I lacked the proper equipment to do the things I actually envisioned, such as a good capture card, a large enough storage, a good PC, and a good mic. So, I apologize for the quality of this video, and I hope you can bear with it and still enjoy it. And hey, if you happen to like this video and want to support me doing all this stuff, like and subscribe. It helps a lot. It motivates me more to push myself more and make more contents like this. Well, enough yapping chat. Let's beat Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud only.
Disclaimer: this video is not an accurate storytelling of any Final Fantasy VII content. Hi, I'm Yusin, and welcome to my very first challenge run. And today, we will try to answer the question if it's even possible to beat Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud only. Of course, it's already proven to be possible in the original version, in the 1997 version, in the Steam version, but I haven't really seen anyone do it. And so, I've gotten really curious, and I really want to figure this out and push this game onto its very limits while punishing myself for even thinking that this will be easy and fun. Well, it's fun, but it's also easy, right? Right? Well, anyways, enough about the yap and let's discuss the rules so that we can officially start the run. Rule number 1. I can only use Cloud for this run. That means no switching. I'm not allowed to use any ATBs of my party members. They stay as it is. Number 2, I'm not allowed to heal my party members. This is to avoid using my party members as meat shields. This also meant that I'm not allowed to use any benches when I have party members. So if I'm about to die, if I'm really low on HP and MP, I have to use items. I have to use spells. Number 3, I'm not allowed to equip any materials and weapons and accessories to my party members nor upgrade them. I will do this literally solo. Number 5, if Cloud is not usable in any specific parts of the game, I will only play the character that was set as a leader. We will still maintain the no switching run. I can temporarily upgrade one weapon and reuse Cloud's materials on that character, but as soon as Cloud is back in the party, we will immediately unequip that weapon into the non-upgraded ones. And number 6, I'm not allowed to play New Game Plus, so there's not really a New Game Plus in Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I don't know, using the hard difficulty as a leverage to have all of these weapons, all of these materials, I don't even know if I can sell them. Anyway, with now the rules being set, let's go on with the video. We start the game as classic as possible. We are introduced to Aerith, Barret, and Cloud with one of the coolest introductions ever. We make quick work with the security officers and guard dogs, and there wasn't really a challenge in the first part of the game. Most of the time we kept fighting mobs, collecting chests, and walking for a very long time. And then we watch some cutscenes we probably watch hundreds of times until Barret finally entered the party, and usually this is the part where the game teaches us the importance of party members, that with the power of love and friendship, we will be able to reach new heights, where in this case, close to the turrets. But Cloud doesn't care about that. Cloud is going full Sasuke route and do this by himself, so I run around till I have enough ATB to use fire and do this. And then, we finally encountered the real challenge of the game, lasers. Yeah, that was easy. And then we continue on with the story and met this cute robot called Scorpion Sentinel. Sounds scary, isn't it, huh? Well, this boss fight isn't really that hard, but it takes too long. And I mean too long. Very long. And the reason for this is that Barret has the lightning materia, which is the weakness for the Scorpion Sentinel, and with no means to exploit any weakness, it has gone to a battle of attrition where we painstakingly trade jobs and hooks with each other until someone goes down. Luckily, the one who goes down is the cute little robot. After that, we skate, we used a 20-minute timer because we're a gamer, save Jesse, fought new types of enemies, missed my fireball jutsu, save Jesse again, and started the ship. And then, we barely managed to escape the reactor with Cloud shoving off the Jesse, finishing this chapter. The second chapter starts with the game showing us how much damage has been dealt with our terrorism. Received the first materia given to us by best girl Jessie, and finally reunite with the ex-boyfriend, Sephiroth. Sephiroth plays Itachi for a moment by saying hold on to that hatred, and then we meet the girl in the first cutscene, Erit. We saw her awkwardly dancing in the streets, but when she touched us, we got high and saw a ghost that was actually bothering her. After the scene dragging on for more than a few seconds, another set of mobs arrived chasing us, just to get spunked by our Daddy Cloud. We kept that pace and spunked any soldiers on our way, even those annoying ones who's wearing shields, where once again I ran off till I have enough ATB to finally use my fire and grenade on them. I kept doing this until one dog jumped on me, foreshadowing, but we managed to escape and wipe them all out until reinforcements arrived and we had no choice but to jump on the train. I mean, what's with these games? Train and us constantly jumping on it. I swear this is the third time if we count Crisis Core. We finally met with the gang again. Barret caused some ruckus with some Shinra manager which I'm not gonna show because it's embarrassing. Then we talked to best girl Jessie and toured us to the Midgard with a pathetic layout of a map which makes me think that Pizza Hut was the one who designed this. And finally arrived at Sector 7 slum. We met Sakura this time, a useful one, after being away for 5 years, and I skipped every cutscene available in this chapter. Yep, I even skipped the dress picking part. And normally, I only want to cover the main story section in this type of videos and do the side quests off cam, but these side quests are... Okay, these side quests are more difficult than the story itself. Yeah. Especially this one side quest where I have to take care of the rats, but you might think, what's so difficult about getting rid of the rats? Well, if it's only the rare rats, I dealt with them with triple slash and beat them so fast it's not even worth mentioning, but when we started fighting the Doom rats, oh my fucking... Oh! You know what? I'm just gonna show you what happened. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 I'm even gonna put a dead counter. What makes this fight really difficult is that you have to deal with their grabs alone. And usually that is the use of your party members. If you are using Cloud and get grabbed by a rat or a fucking dog going feral, you would usually switch to Tifa or Barret or Erit to attack the one who grabbed you so that you won't die, but that is not allowed in this run. So the only choice that I have for this run is to wish that I would survive the grab or just accept the reality that you died and you have to get good. After a few trials and errors, I have noticed that their attack patterns are more fast than your average enemies, and with me utilizing Punisher from every fight is basically a bad counter to this one since they just don't attack, they fucking grab. And so what I did was run around and dodged and made full use of the dodge strike materia when I meant full use, I meant almost spamming the shit out of that move and constantly using triple slash, beating speed with speed. After this,
I finally equipped Assess and First Strike Materia because I'm that stupid. Do more side quests where if it's easy I won't show it. And I also beat this Drake, which took a while because not only Cloud sucks in aerial fight in this game, which is a really big improvement in Rebirth. I also have to deal with their annoying tornado. Yeah, that's annoying. I also defeat the loose dog where again I died because of the fucking grub. I swear the grub is the true final boss of this game. After that, I beat another Drake, a different one, but still annoying. Complete all the side quests, drink alcohol in the game because I don't in real life. I left and beat these dudes while only using one hand, then call it a day. And then I went home when best girl Jessie was waiting for us and gave us Ifrit for a condition. We helped her with Biggs and Wedge following us. We did the motor scene, stole her dad's ID as per her request, and let hell loose to this Shinra base while Jessie steals another bomb. Now, this one is easy. Again, it's the same enemies all over again. I thought it would be smooth sailing until I met a right trooper. I swear to God, I don't know if I'm stupid or what. Maybe I just am. But I struggled in this one. It took me quite a couple of tries, but eventually I managed to defeat it by using Thunder on the shield guy and beat his buddies and dogs as well. Until Roche finally arrived once again. Now I thought I'm gonna have a hard time dealing with this guy, but no, I didn't. I simply guarded with my Punisher mode and do this for quite some time and slowly chip his health until I cross-slash his ass up and escaped Sector 7. And that is the very first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake Cloud Only Run. It was annoying. A lot of battles always ends up in a battle of attrition and I always end up running around until I get the ATB for the enemies that I can reach. But it's bearable. It's not definitely not as easy as I would think, but it's also not that difficult. Maybe there will be a difficulty spikes later on, uh, and I'm really curious to find out as to if it's really possible or not. So I will keep on making these videos until I finish the game and do some other games as well. But if you are watching this right now up until the end, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And as much as I want to do this, as it's always been my passion to play games and make videos about it, there's a lot of factors that limits me onto making a substantial progress into realizing this dream. It would be a great help, a great motivation, and inspiration to push on with these videos and create more in the future, knowing that there may be even 50 or 30 or 10 viewers who enjoy the content that I make. This is Musen, and I hope to see you on the next one.
We continue where we left off, where we finally escaped Upper Sector 7. We walked Wedge home, visited Best Girl Jessie, and finally went home. Went to sleep until tomorrow and beat the ghost things. This has a nice gimmick where there is technically a boss fight in this part. I think it is because its health bar is quite different than the others, where I have to defeat his Lucky's force in order to damage him. And I say nice because, unlike the bosses later, this one doesn't pummel me to game over at all. It was nice and I was able to defeat it without any problems. As Jessie was pushed down by a ghost, injuring herself in the process, and this event led us to being recruited by the Avalanche again, which is the
ran an event. And we proceeded to onto the Sector 5 by train. But it wasn't really that easy, wasn't it? We got detected by Shinra drones. I wiped all of it, jumped off the train for the third time, by the way, and began gunning to the Sector 5 reactor. And it was pretty easy until I met this. Yep. Actually, you know what? It was easy. But the thing is, I am too stupid, and the only thing that I can say to myself right now is skill issue. I don't have to blame the game. It's all me. It's all me. I'm too bad at this game, and I have to get good. And I did for my second try. After that embarrassing death with some mods, I continued on and finally met some real boss this time. The Scrub Warden has three phases, if I remember correctly, and its first phase was easy. I just had to dodge, attack its limbs, dodge, and repeat the same process, but the next phase wasn't as simple as I'd like to think. To think that what I said earlier about defeating the Lucky's first was a nice gimmick would bite me in the ass, shooting lasers at me left and right, and that I was forced to take them all out first using the thunder. After that, it was all a battle of attrition and finally defeated. After the scramble with the crab, the gang went to the underplate, and I'm gonna skip most of this part because this is the part of the game where I feel like this game turns into the hallway simulator with too much walking. And for now, I will only highlight the battles. This is also the part of the game where I started buying so many revival earrings. This makes any death much more quicker and I have more chance to defeat the current enemies. I did this to save time and be more efficient. Oh, and by the way, I'm only gonna use this on Cloud. I'm sticking to my word. No accessories in this run. No other accessories in this run for our party members. And you can actually see me using this a lot in this video. Like this one. Yep, I died again. Oh, and by the way, dying and using revival earrings counts as a death. After that death, we finally obtain elemental materia, MPF materia, miserably failed at completing the ventilation maintenance, finally completing it at the second one, and got a new summon materia, which I forget it existed. And finally moved on into the Mako Reactor 5. And huh, this part is really interesting. I don't know how if interesting is even the right word for this. So to start off strong in this section of the game, I died. Yep, I died. Embarrassingly to a freaking sweeper. But I made sure to take my revenge and cross-lashed his butt up and proceeded to rob them. I made sure to take out two big bombers and one AI, hoping that it won't beat me up too much. And that I fought more enemies, failed at the timing, got some loot, and it begins. The Air Buster. Okay, so the Air Buster has multiple phases and attacks, and all of them hits hard. All of them is annoying, and I pretty much died to all of them. So here's the thing that I hate the most in this game. Number 1, grubs. Number 2, stuns. But there isn't really much of a challenge in the first place. And that's usually the case if I don't constantly fall to that trap and get stunned. And it's so infuriating. Not only I constantly get a stun in a big bomber combo, but of course, there is also our beloved grubs, homing lasers, and have I mentioned stuns? I did. Well, I will mention it again, and this death keeps happening and happening. Even if I have a barrier, a revival earrings, I did everything available to me, and it's just game over screens after game over screens until I said, enough is enough. I will do this. This is a skill issue, and I have to get good. I have to do this. No, I will do this. I can do this. And well, I'll let you watch it. I made sure to have barriers, to have my revival earrings, to heal as much as possible, to regain my MP as much as possible and dealt damage to it little by little. After that, this is the part where I also use Ifrit. This way I could have a long range attack even for a moment and maximize my chances of dealing damage to the Airbuster. Then, all I have to do is buy time, heal, and prepare until the Airbuster is reachable enough, and finally deal damage to it. I don't know if this is a bug or what, but whenever I run towards the wall, any long range attacks when the Airbuster is flying can reach me. In doing so, is much more beneficial than just dodging and blocking normally. ATB refreshes faster when running. Doing so helps me heal and prepare for the battle more. I kept this strategy for the rest of the boss fight. Attack when I have the chance, and heal as much as possible and fall and finally defeated the Airbuster. After painstakingly 2 hours, 2 hours of painful recording, we finally did it. And I can proudly say, boys, it's possible. It is possible, and we can do this. We can defeat Airbuster with Cloud only. Oh. After that, after finally beating the Airbuster, yes, I'm taking this as a trophy. I'm taking this as a win. I'm gonna brag about this all the fucking time. After finally beating the Airbuster, we fell from the Mako Reactor 5. Because of its explosion, we fell in the church and met Erit again. After that, Reno. Reno is fast but can easily be countered by Punisher mode, and he can easily be pressured by doing so. With keeping that up, I easily damaged him enough that I triggered his second phase. In his second phase, he puts out his EM mines, which easily can be dealt by using Triple Slash. With that, Reno has been dealt with, and we then escape from Reno. Walked to the rooftops, tried living without Erit, went to her house, saved some kids, and it's side quest time. And again, I don't normally cover side quests and just do them off cam, but I wanna cover some this times where I died and actively struggle, and I'm just gonna show the deaths. So, after completing every side quest available, we went home and met this guy, Rude. Rude is the embodiment of what I hate the most, grabs. And at first, I didn't really know how to deal with him. I just know he's weak at wind, so I made sure that it's attached to my elemental materia, and I also made sure to keep my distance at all times. And yeah, I was still grabbed. A lot. You know, since I hate grab so much, I'm gonna do a montage of every grabs Rude did to me. Enjoy. Yeah, fun, right? It's so painful to be grabbed by that bastard. I did as much as I can. I had no choice but to tank it all and heal when necessary and fight until I beat it. And managed to beat Reno and Rude in both one tries. That's quite surprising actually, beating two boss fights after having that very difficult time with Aircaster. It's like you finally reach Nirvana and you finally get good because you had a lot of practice and embarrassing deaths. Oh yeah, I suck. After fighting Rude, we once again went to Erit's house. Elmira asked us to leave at night, failed at sneaking out and got caught by Erit, and even when I finally did, Erit noticed and followed us on our way to Sector 7. And there's nothing really remarkable to show here other than the annoying hand robots, which was a big padding for the game, honestly. Finally obtained the Magnify Materia, I almost died to a sweeper because I'm that bad at the game, and finally escaped the hellhole and went to the wall market because we have to save Tifa. But everything is not as easy of a process, and we had to proceed carefully because of that. We have to enter the Don Corneo's palace by entering Erit and Cloud into the audition. So, we talked to Madam M after giving us a massage. What face are you making, Cloud, huh? And enter the Colosseum so that we can pay for Erit's dress, which apparently is a million gil. And enemies in the Colosseum isn't really that big of a deal. We managed to beat them easily and pretty much time consuming. And honestly, I thought the problem would really be the Hell House itself, but it seems like I underestimated Sam's robots and died embarrassingly for the first time. But I believe that pain makes me stronger and made a comeback a second time and finally defeat them, which that leaves the Hell House.
Tonight's Corneo Cup has been a spectacle like no other. And we shared your disappointment, ladies and gentlemen, when we told you that it was coming to an end. But nobody felt it more keenly than one Don Corneo, who has decided that a bonus match is in order. Participating in this match will be this evening's leading lights, the dynamic duo that has crushed all competition thus far, Cloud and Aaron!
Cloud! Cloud! Over here! Look at them! They're so adorable!
You're the man, Cloud! Aaron, I love you! Marry me! Their opponent, buried in the bowels of the Colosseum. An unspeakable horde, long in prison, set free tonight for your entertainment! The secret star of Don Corneo's stellar stable! Enter the Hell House!
It's just a house.
Okay, so let's start by me saying that Hell House sucks. Yes, it sucks. I hate it, okay? But not because it's too hard like the Airbuster. I thought it was, but because this part is designed in mind that the devs want to utilize Erit as well. With that in mind, they made the Hell House weak against magic, and physical attack seems to only have a use whenever Hell House is staggered. Because of that, the fight takes a while since my attacks are basically reduced to half, and it's not like I can do anything to make his damage reduced to half as well. It's not like I'm forgetting something. And so I just tanked everything. I gave it my all and still fell short. I died. But a single death cannot ruin this run. No, 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 no. With the power of everything I have experienced throughout this run, where I died to a sweeper, to the blue flying thingy, and to Airbuster so many times, I know I have to do it. I know I can do it. One last time, I will do it. We are going full power. And we did it. We finally did it. Second try and we managed to beat the Hell House. I I almost expected that it would be as difficult as the Airbuster, but we managed to defeat it the second time. I don't know if the Hell House is much more significantly easier than the Airbuster itself, or is it just me getting good at the game? I don't really know. No one has really done this before. And I was really proud. I was really happy that I was able to do this. And I'm looking forward to do this again. I'm looking forward to do more of this again. And well, thank you so much for watching this video. It took me a lot of time and effort to make this video. From recording, the voiceovers, onto the editing itself. So if you are watching this until now, please like and subscribe to the channel. This helps me a lot and give me a lot of motivation to continue doing this. The third part will be coming soon, so hold on tight. And if you haven't watched the first video yet, I recommend watching it as well. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. Peace! No, that sounds so cringe.
This is how I failed on beating Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud only. But before that, I want you to hit the like button and subscribe because this will get crazy real soon, and recording and editing all of this takes me a very long time. This small thing such as like motivates me to do more of this content. Now, continuing on to where we left off, we fought Shiva and Fat Chocobo on first both tries. We also did all side quests and meet up with Erit once again, dance like our life depended on it, and I actually did well. And then, we dressed up as well, insult Corneo, fell into the sewers, then Absu. Absu is interesting. He's got an annoying grab, basically my best friend at this point, and then the flood thingy as well, but he wasn't really that difficult. Shut up. Well, I did, but I finally managed to defeat it on my second try. Nothing really complicated to cover here, just defeated him like any other old boss. After defeating Absu, we rendezvous to Sector 7 through the sewers. We died to the Sahagins and arrived on the infamous train graveyard. We saw this moment. We died to the ghost mobs off screen and fight the ghost boss. And there isn't really much to highlight here. It's as simple as if the ghost in his physical form are only vulnerable to physical attacks. And if he's in ghost mode, only magic attacks works on him when he's in ghost mode, and that's basically the cycle all over and over again. I also beat it on the first try, and yeah. And now that we managed to beat them, let's move on from the easy boss fights, and I think it's time to move on to the difficult ones. Starting with... Okay, why is Ghoul considered as a hard boss? Well, because it can fly. So, here's the thing. Like any other boss, the first phase is pretty easy. You can attack the boss freely at the front, but his wheels are basically invulnerable to any physical attacks, and this is where the game gets fun. I don't know if fun is the right word. Anyways,
After dealing enough damage to our friend here, our friend will begin to fly and I only have two choices at this point. Either attack him using our magic attacks or use the Shiva summon to damage him. And guess what I did? Yep, I did both. And it's still not enough. So once again, I have to dodge as if I'm playing a Souls game, spam all the heals that I have until I can finally and slowly disable him from flying away. And you might think, oh, so he can fly away anymore so you can finally kill him. Well, that's what I would like to think, but he has a third phase. And the problem with this phase is that he hits hard. Really hard. Like I died in this part and I felt broken. Really broken. But hey, let's try again. So I did all the same thing all over again. Finally went back to the third phase and I made sure to attack his wheels with magic, deal physical attack when there's an opportunity, and I managed to beat it with the limit break. We died 2 times in fighting the goal off screen, and so we're gonna add that to the tally. Now you might question, you might ask, why are you doing it off screen? Well, it's because I always forget to hit record. I always forget to hit record. It's the thing is, I want to section my battles in each and every video to make my editing process a little bit more easier, but the problem is I always forget to hit record when I'm retrying every boss fights. So that's what happened. Fun, wasn't it? Well, moving on. We fought the Whispers again. We watched this very emotional part with Biggs. We saved Marlene using Aerith. We died again to some random goon and have a very emotional moment with Jessie. And we are finally getting closer to the boss fight who would give me a huge headache. The Turks. In this battle, Reno and Rude has a few new moves in their sleeves that makes it 1,000 more harder than they are a video ago. I tried for quite a few times to tank their combos and have no choice but to be in the defensive instead of the offensive, and I think that's the best strategy for this fight. And that's not even the hard part in this boss fight, it's the pyramid. So, the pyramid traps you as if it's an instant KO or petrified. And anything I do is basically an insta-death. Remember that I can't use my party members, so I'm stuck at the time. I have no choice but to wait that there might be a chance to finally break free, and it's only when Rude finishes me off. You can say that, oh, just tank it, and that's what I want to do. If only that pyramid doesn't slowly damage me as well and I'm not at 1 health, then maybe I can tank it. So I tried doing this. Before hitting the second phase, I quickly applied regen and barrier and even have my revival earrings on. And I managed to do so. The regen instantly heals the damage I get from the pyramid, and the barrier reduces the damage from Rude and his helicopter. And it's actually doable. And with that, I made sure to deal with Reno first so that there won't be any other pyramids. Took out the helicopter and finally reached the final phase of this fight. It introduces us to the wombo combo of the Turks. And with no other choice than to run, tank, and guard, I have no choice but to prioritize defeating Reno first. So, I put Rude to sleep and deal damage to Reno as much as possible. And when Reno was taken care of, I tried poisoning Rude. Summon Chocobo and Moogle Summon for the extra wind damage, and it was only a matter of time till I finally defeated the duo. After that, I died this amount of deaths. I don't remember anymore how many times I died to them. And in this part, well, this is the part where I failed at beating Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud only. So, I made sure that in my rules, I can only use one of the party members if Cloud is not present in the current scenario. In Chapter 13, the party got separated and you have to play Barret in this situation. And so, I can only use Barret for the whole run until Cloud came back and it's finally controllable. So, how did I fail, you ask? Well, it's because the boss in Chapter 13 forces you to change to Tifa to proceed with the story, and I had to switch in order to do that.
a cutscene played, and I immediately went back to using Barret. Let me know in the comment down below if this is the part where I failed at beating Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud Only Run. This got me a couple of tries, but we managed to finally beat it, and it took me a total of 5 tries to finally defeat it. We finally saved Wedge and went back to Elmira. Cloud wants to save Aerith but failed to persuade Elmira itself. This then finally started the last side quest of the game, and we then completed every side quest and died a few times to some unique mobs. I'm just gonna add it to our tally. And moving on again with the story, we went to see Corneo. Sorry, it's Don Corneo for information, but instead, meet Leslie, went back to the sewers, and died from a Sahagin once again. We started this video by defeating Absu, and we're gonna finish this one by defeating him again. So, what's the gimmick this time, you might ask? Well, this time, he has his children. He, she, it? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Well, anyways. There's so many Absu shots in the field, really, and it's very annoying. Triple Slash usually it is a good quick damage dealer to the boss, and it's basically unusable right now because of those shots. So what I did, well, I quickly applied haste, regen, and just pump fire as much as possible and kept this pace out up until I finally and we eventually did this. And this is where I'm gonna end this video. I really want this to be the last part of the series, but it really made me want to show this part as soon as possible to you guys. And I'm hoping to know your opinion on whether I failed this run or not. So please, if you are watching this till now, let me know your thoughts in the comment down below. And if you wanna see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. You can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind, and press the ring button to stay updated in my future videos. I'll make sure that the next video is the last part of this series. And if you haven't watched the previous parts yet, you should check it out as well. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace.
Hello, this is Musin, and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Remake Cloud Only Run. And we're bringing the hype, guys. We're bringing the hype because we are finally at the finale. I am so excited to upload this and to show this because this is really fun. Brutal at times, but really fun. I hope you enjoyed this video, and guessing to why you clicked this video, I know you want to see the Sephiroth versus Cloud, so make sure to stick around until the end of this video. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos like this, and let's get the show on the road. The Valkyrie. I spammed lightning. Yep. That's it. Let's move on. So, this guy, this specimen boss fight, this thing has its little minions that makes this boss fight a little bit more difficult. His minions has this move called Spinner, and they immediately spam the living shit out of me, making me more vulnerable and stunned for its big boss hits. And not only that, it also has poison and slow, so yeah, fun stuff, right? Not only that his minions self-destructs on the second phase, but we were able to do it again on our second try, making sure to use triple slash to the minions. And after clearing them all out, I maximize Punisher mode, guard when I have to, and damage its left claw as much as possible. I kept doing the same thing over and over again, even healing when necessary until it finally goes down. But before the next boss, it's rant time. Final Fantasy VII Remake is fun to play. It's really fun, especially that I'm doing this really fun challenge with you guys. I even dream about it, but god damn it. This part of the game is really boring and hard to play. It's
It's really annoying. I hate it. Okay? I hate the fact that I have to constantly switch party members, meaning I have to constantly switch materials and I have to constantly adapt and adjust to everything because that's what the game wanted me to do. And to tell you the truth, it's clever and it's fun, but it's not when I'm doing this challenge. So, it's basically torture. It's like I'm gonna fight 2 or 3 fights, then I'm menuing again for the next 5 minutes, and I had to painstakingly endure this till the next boss. Speaking of, Swordipede? I don't know, man. Well, remember the Valkyrie boss fight? That's it, but with menuing. Genova! If you like Tentacle Stag, this is for you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyways, this boss, honestly, I don't really find anything special in this boss. I spammed triple slash here and there. I made sure to stay buff and heal. There would be times where it would attack me with its laser or use stop on me, and managing to survive all that wasn't really that difficult, but time consuming. Really time consuming. Though, something that made this game a little bit more difficult is not utilizing the assess material anymore. This gives the game a little bit more unpredictability so that there would be another layer of complexity on each boss fights. And I don't consider this as a bad thing, not at all. It doesn't make the run stale and boring. It has a little bit of surprises, and letting your guard down can cost you the fight. Guard? What the fuck? So, even though the succession of boss fights felt similar, I never really call it the same because there will always be the difference that you will notice if the battle has gone long enough. Something that I won't notice if I was going gung-ho with a normal Let's Play. Well, defeated it pretty easy, just time consuming. Let's go to Rufus. Okay, let me tell you something. Rufus is made for this video. No. Rufus is made for this challenge run, okay? This boss fight is nothing but unbelievable. This 1v1 fight, well, 2v1 fight at first, is a well-balanced fight and isn't really abusive in mechanics that wants you to actually utilize using other party members. And with me being well equipped as well, this isn't a fight where I exploit something or just run off and buy time to get the necessary ATB in order to defeat the enemy. Of skill, patience, and well, timing. So, Darkstar, you know, the dog. The dog that can do multiple things. It can even grab you. You know, the most favorite thing in the series. Don't know the reference? Watch my previous videos, link in the description down below, and you'll get it. Well, continuing on. Darkstar also acts as a melee to Rufus' long-range approach, and it's a combo that is brutal enough for a few game overs. This makes Darkstar a clear first target to prioritize to avoid further problems in this boss fight. So what I did? Well, I made sure to utilize my Punisher mode and counter stance to deal great damage. I kept this up until Darkstar is finally down. You'll see the pattern. I promise. Okay, so Rufus. Rufus is basically untouchable as to how much I utilize Punisher mode and counter stance. Rufus does the same with his own gimmick and probably even more dangerous with his relentless attacks. It is a duel of counters and timing. It's not something you win by materials but by skills, timing, and patience. And you know, keeping it up, doing the same thing all over and over again, Rufus finally goes down. And I'm not gonna lie, the Rufus boss fight is probably a 10 out of 10 for me. This is my most favorite boss fight of all in this game. The Arsenal. Okay, this boss fight. There's too many hot takes in here. This boss fight is basically an FPS. Yep, I said it. So, since Barret is the leader in this party, I will use Barret for the whole duration of the fight. Hence, this boss being a being an FPS. And once again, guys, breaking news, there's nothing special in this fight. Like, literally, this boss fight felt like he's just a big bullet sponge that I have to keep firing for a certain amount of time. And let me tell you, it was boring. It's just cover, fire, cover, fire. You know, if I'm gonna rank this boss fight, it's a solid 2 out of 10. That's that. The Motor Ball. The part leading to this boss fight feels like it drags out too much, or maybe I felt that because I already experienced it in Chapter 4, where in the original, it only happened a single time. Well, anyways, Motor Ball. So, I actually don't know how to explain and analyze this part other than you have to damage the wheels to stagger it, and that's basically the boss fight. Though, to make things more harder, Motor Ball has a variety of ways to damage you, like his guns, him slamming his own wheels, and the electric bombs, which I tank casually. I don't know about you, maybe it's a hot take, another one, but the 1997 version, is more of a boss fight than the remake. Let's move on. We are finally at the final stretch of the game, and I can finally see the sweet, sweet credit scenes, finally finishing this game with Cloud only. The Whisper fight was fun, and they do come at you all at once, but with the right timing, Counter Stance proves to be the true MVP of this run. Once again, I always keep the buffs up. Be on the offensive and pull the counter stance when necessary. And soon enough, we stagger the boss easily. So, what I did when I staggered them, well, instead of dealing damage as much as possible, I see the stagger as the window to refresh buffs and ATBs for the upcoming phases of the fight, to prepare myself more as much as possible. And I was thinking of doing this to prepare myself for Sephiroth until I forgot one thing. Not gonna lie, I completely forget about this one. Whisper Bahamut. Okay, my strategy basically got messed up in this fight, and I even forgot how to damage Bahamut quickly. So yeah, that's that. On my second try though, with all the buffs I can have, I made sure to rain Bahamut with as much as magic as possible, and even pop my limit break one last time until we finally managed to take it down and have them all split up into 3 again. I kept the same strategy as before and finally take the Whisper Harbinger down with a final few hit. And for what everyone has been waiting for, Sephiroth. This is what I've been looking forward to the most in this whole run, and I can't believe we are finally here, so let's do this. In this final fight, I will put Elemental Materia plus Thunder Materia on our armor, and as usual, we will constantly apply buffs in this match. We once again utilize our Punisher mode and counter stance to deal consistent damage to Sephiroth and stagger him as soon as possible. Heck, I even made sure to replenish my buffs even if they are not halfway consumed yet, and even released my summon materia to make sure that I'm dealing enough damage to Sephiroth, which I will sure soon regret. The Thunder Infusion is my window to finally trigger Sephiroth into his final phase. What you are seeing right now is like probably my 5th or 6th try on trying to defeat him, and I always die at the Thunder Infusion part of the boss fight. With that finally being mitigated, I dealt damage to him as soon as possible before he even tried anything funny that would cost me a whole fight. And when I was about to pop my limit break, bro, Ifrit. You are already the main character in Final Fantasy 16. Why do you have to steal the show? Because Ifrit here released his Hellfire, stealing my final blow and finishing the game once and for all. All those hard work, all those anticipation that I had, all those planning and strategies that I had, wasted by Ifrit's Hellfire. It was a good thing, Not gonna deny that, but oh my god. Well, I guess I finished the game. So, that is Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud only. It was a fun ride and I enjoyed it. And it was brutal. And hey, I answered my question in the very first video that I made, and to the best version of myself, yes, it is possible to beat it with Cloud only. This was so much fun, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this challenge run as well. It took me a really long time to complete it and edit it, and I hope that all my hard work entertained you even for just a little. And hey, if you are still watching right now, please like and subscribe. It's free and it helps me a lot, really lot. I'll even do a hard mode boss rush Cloud only if this video reaches 50 likes, or heck, I'll even do it to 30. And if you haven't watched the previous episodes in this series, I recommend watching it as well. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Peace.